What's going on, y'all? Yeah, I'm just going to respond to one of my recent videos, see if they had any static, and let's get the show on the road.
Hi, greetings, y'all. This is me again. The topic of discussion is Epicureanism. It's a little black pill talk.
Hold on. Hold on for a minute. I'll be just a moment. We'll see something for a minute. Hold on. See something for a minute. See something for a minute. YouTube Studio. Can I do this? Live. Oh shit. Oh, you can't do it on the phone. Goddamn. Yeah. So much for that. Yeah, you gotta do it on the computer. Goddamn. I see what you're talking about. Oh, Mr. Palmer. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get it in a second. Hold on. Cause I'm gonna get my little stuff right. One thing you gotta do is make sure you're going live. These boys is getting on my nerves. Yeah. I'm trying to make this not entertainment. Get in here. This is not entertainment. I'm gonna put educational. It's not for kids. Save it. Yeah. Now we see the chat. All right. Great. Continue.
what prompted me for this stream, this topic, is from recent discussions from Black Ip Moore's channel when they did the DMX thing, and PK wanted to ask me about utilitarianism, so that's what I'm basing this on. But I got some links and proof about the concept of utilitarianism, and that's what I'm gonna roll with. And I'm gonna see in a minute. I'm gonna check out the chat. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, man. Yeah, I gotta get this under control. Right now. Go stream back. I'll make this. I don't like when they do this. Little silliness right here. Yeah. I'm learning how to do this. Okay. Yep. No. That's not what I'm. Okay. Oh, I hate doing this. I really don't like streaming odds like this. Okay. I can't start yet until I get this shit under control. Hold on. They ain't gonna act right. Yeah, give me that. Come on. Let's look at the stream. Let's look in here. Yeah. There we go. Give me 1 second, y'all. Because I gotta get this out of the way. We'll educate y'all. Nonprofit activism. Yeah, this is kind of had to deal with this. All right. Yeah, but Zoom's expensive, bro. All right. Let me get this out of the way. All right. Let's get down to business. Epicureanism. I'm going to break this down for PK. Okay, Epicureanism is a system of philosophy based on teachings of Epicurus founded around 307 BCE. It teaches that the greatest good is to seek the modest pleasures in order to attain a state of tranquility, freedom from fear, exteria and absence from bodily pain, aphenia. This combination of states is held to constitute happiness in its highest form. So Epicureanism can be considered a form of hedonism. So we already know that's in the utilitarian form, but it did birth utilitarianism. So although it differs from its concepts of happiness, you hear that word happiness again, as the absence of pain and its advocacy of simple life. And here's the scholar Epicurus, directed that this is the state of tranquility could be attained through knowledge of the workings of the world and the limiting desires. Thus, pleasure was able to obtain by knowledge and friendship, living a virtuous, temperate life. He lauded the enjoyment of simple pleasure, by which he meant to abstain from bodily desires, such as sex, appetites, verging on asceticism. He counseled that a cheerful poverty as his honorable state. Yeah, asceticism. Yeah, we're gonna get to that later. What he meant by that, and that's part of this form as well. I might do a future topic on that. And when we talk about Epicureanism, I'm just gonna throw a few things around. He argued. Oh God, I hit something. Goodness, no. Did I hit that? Did I hit that by accident? Yeah. Okay, I hit that by accident. Okay, sorry about that. Hit that by accident. All right. Where was I? Okay. He argued for moderation in all things. So that was when eating, for an example, one should not eat too richly, for it could lead to dissatisfaction later, such as indigestion or the grim realization that one could not afford, such as the delicacies in the future. Likewise, sex could lead to increased lust, dissatisfaction with the sexual partner. Epicurus himself remained celibate. Even learning, culture, and civilization were discouraged, and as they could result in disturbing one's peace of mind, except for insofar as knowledge could help rid oneself of religious fears and superstitions, such as the fear of the gods and death. Yeah, and they use the term celibacy or celibate. Some powerful stuff. Okay, generally speaking, Epicureans shun politics as far no part in the quest for exteria and aphenia, likewise a potential source of unsatisfied desires and frustration which was to be avoided. Like Democritus, Lucafetius before him, and Epicurus was the autonomous believing that all matter, souls, and gods are all comprised of atoms. Even thoughts are merely atoms serving randomly. Mm-hmm. That sounds like a utilitarian mindset to me. And they believe in this stuff, and they don't get into domestic politics or geopolitics, what it sounds like in this graph right here. Epicurus was one of the first to develop a notion of justice as a kind of social contract, an agreement neither to harm nor be harmed. He argued that laws and punishment in society are important so that individuals can be free to pursue happiness. Pursuit of happiness. There it goes again. And just a law is one that contributes to promote human happiness. In some respects, this was an early contribution to the much later development of liberalism and of utilitarianism. You see that again. We just talked about it with the change of construct of utilitarianism live stream recently. In modern popular usage, an epicure is a connoisseur of the arts of life and the refinements of the sensual pleasure, and especially of a good food and drink, attributable to the misunderstanding of the Epicurean doctrine as promulgated by Christian Polynices, something like that. Yeah, so everybody adopted this principle. Yeah, that's what they teach in this black pill stuff in the esoteric Manosphere 2.0. I see. The history of Epicureanism. Yeah, we're going to get that in a minute and see what's going on here. Yeah, you get what you pay for. Right. Let's get back to the topic. Epicureanism was originally conceived by Epicurus as a challenge to Platoism, although arguably Demo, Democritus, Democetrus, or something like that. Yeah, Democetrus had propounded a very similar philosophy almost a century early, along with Stoicism and skepticism. We just talked about Stoicism and skepticism in the Epicurus video. I think I did a short stream on that on both, or mini stream for myself. I didn't use StreamYard, so I think I did a piece on the two. I think it was 2 parts, yeah. The school of Epicureanism later became one of the 3 dominant schools of the Hellenistic philosophy, lasting strongly through the later Roman Empire. During Epicurus' lifetime, its members included Hieromachus, Idomeneus, Clotus, Polonius, Metrodorus. Locarius 99 I would say 99 BCE to 55.
Sound good so far. Sound good so far. Yep. And no problems. I think I was using the headset. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna let it play. Am I good? Okay. Let me see. Let me play this.
5 BCE was the school of the greatest Roman proponent, composing an epic poem, De Ram Natura, one of the nature of things, on the Epicurean philosophy of nature. The poet Horace, 65 to 8 BCE, Julius Caesar, 100 BCE to 44 BCE. Interesting. Both lean considerably towards Epicureanism. After the official approval of Christianity by the Roman Empire, Constantine, 272, 307 CE, and 313 CE, Epicureanism was repressed as an essential, irreconcilable with the Christian teachings, and the school endured a long period of obscurity and decline. In modern times, the French philosopher and the priest Pierre Gassendi, 1592 CE to 1655 CE, referring to himself as an Epicurean. In an attempt to revive the doctrine, as did Thomas Jefferson, 1743 to 1826 CE, currently, and the utilitarian Jeremy Bentham. Yes, the utilitarian philosopher. Again, it has a connection with utilitarianism. Yeah, and you got utilitarianism and religion. Utilitarianism emphasized neutrality of the gods, their non-interference with human lives, excuse me, although it did not deny the existence of God. Despite some tendencies towards the atheism, it conceded the gods as blissfulness, and I'm going to turn this off, but okay, blissful and immortal, yet material beings as atoms, and having the empty spaces between worlds and the vastness of infinite spaces, too far away from from the earth to have an interest in what was doing. It rejected any possibility of an afterlife, while still contending that one not fear death. It can be argued that the philosophy is an aesthetic on a practical level, but avoids the charge of atheism on a theoretical level, thus avoiding to the fate of Socrates, who was tried and executed for atheism of his beliefs. The paradox of Epicurus is the earliest known description of the problem of evil. See the section on philosophy of religion, and it's a famous argument against the existence of an all-powerful provincial god or gods. It can be stated if the god is willing to prevent evil, but it's not able to, but then it's not omnipotent. But if he's able but not willing, then he is malevolent. If he is both able and willing, then why is there such thing as evil? If he is neither able or nor willing, then why call him God at all? There are interesting parallels to Buddhism, which is similarly emphasize a lack of divine interference as aspects of atomism. Buddhism also resembles Epicureanism in its temperateness. Yeah, temperatedness, including the belief that great excesses leads great dissatisfaction. Yep, it has a lot of it. That's Epicureanism, and that's Epicureanism in religion. So it gives you pieces of what it is. So we're gonna get into another field topic of it. Um, let's go to asceticism. I researched this last night. So yeah. Asceticism, yes, describes life categorized by voluntary abstinence from various sorts of worldly pleasures, such especially sexual activity, consumption of alcohol, accumulation of poverty and wealth, and pursuing religious or spiritual goals. Ancient Greeks, cynicism and stoicism adopt the practice of two. Yeah, and some extent did Epicureanism, diametrically opposed to asceticism, is hedonism. Hedonism, the philosophy of that pleasure is there. Yeah, this is like a rival to it, but they act words like this. Yeah, so I might do a piece on that. That could be a form of nihilism, but yeah, I'll give you the basics of Epicureanism. Epicureanism is a form of utilitarianism, and you hear the word pleasures of happiness, right? So we know what liberalism is. I'm going to give you a brief. A broad spectrum of political philosophies considered individual liberty, rights, and equality. That's what liberalism, they teach you, but it's a mixed economy and all that. And we don't have to get into that. You can find this on philosophybasics.com and all that. Socialism, totalitarianism, that's all forms of liberalism. So I ain't going to get into that. Y'all can research that for yourself. But we're going to go for the main one. It is called utilitarianism. Yeah, the idea of more wealth solely determined and overall utility and maximizing happiness or pleasure. You hear the word pleasure and summit among all people and a total utility. So what I just found out about Epicureanism, the history of it, the origins of it trace back to Epicureanism. That's what we're talking about. The Greek philosopher Epicurus and Edmund Burke was a proto-utilitarians, right? Yeah, Epicurus and Stoicism. And we got the history of Platoism. So yeah, it's a form of it. And someone asked me about it over PKs and Artie Edmores, and that's what we have. And we this is a philosophy I want to get into, and we can talk about it. I'm gonna keep this up. I can read it again. It teaches greater good, seeking the modest pleasures, in order to attain the state of tranquility, freedom from fear. I want to say absence from bodily pain. This combination of states is held to constitute the happiness in its highest form. That sounds like utilitarianism to me. It ain't nihilist to me. I don't know what he's talking about. We debate it. So, yeah, man. I'm just going to look this up. I'll show you the comparison on that. So, I'm going to stop screen share. Share screen. Let's see what we're going to do here. I'm on Chrome for a minute. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's just like me and Gabe talked about. But you got two types: the quantitative utilitarianism and the qualitative. But I can get into the numbers. The scope for the human happiness is impossible to quantify. This is one of the primary criticisms of quantitative utilitarianism. Human perception of the same experience varies great among individuals. The fact does not allow for a consistent quantified process. In addition of all ethical systems stemming from consequentialism, the belief that actions are judged on the basis of their consequences are limited by by the ability to guess as to future consequences of present actions. Okay. aggregated measures of happiness. That's number two. Ignore the distributional aspects. Consider three actions, X, Y, and Z. The effect each actions on five individuals given below. So we got person A's perspective, right? Let's look at something right quick. We're going to big up the screen a little bit so you can see. Oh, you can see it. Okay. Let's look at it for a minute. So you see A right here is 100 on the X, Y. Then the Y is 250. The Z is 400. And you also have B's 100 and 150 and 50 on the Y. Z is probably based off generations, so we don't know. That's their happiness. So it's 50 and 25 in each. So C's and D's both have 25 on the Z column. E has 20, 50 on the B column. So B's got 150, but on the X side, B's got 100. They all have 100, so that's 500. Then they have 500, so you got 150, 250, but you got 50, 30, and 20 on D and E's happiness, and that equals to 500, the greatest number. Then the greatest number is 520, so Z has 400, 50, turn 25, 25 on C, and D on D's column, and 20 on E's column. So we get the 520 from. You add that up. Utilitarianism would prefer action Z over XY, and an addition of action to XY would be considered equal because they yield the same level of aggregated happiness. Yep, you see it in, where do you see it? Y and Z have the same type of happiness, but we're the same, not much, but it's, Z's better. So, you see the numbers. 3, the motives behind these actions are ignored. Consider two individuals, A and B, who donated $100 and $1,000 respectively to charity. Suppose individual donate the money because he wanted to help charity. Individuals be made in the donations so that he could improve his own standing in society. Utilitarianism would consider individual B's donation to be superior to individual as donation, despite the fact that it was made with an ulterior motive, less than noble motive. More resources, CFI, they're showing you all that. Okay. Yeah, that's utilitarianism, but it gets the key words. Whatsoever, morality, happiness, calculus, virtue, and all that stuff, and pleasure. It's got it up on the screen. I'm going to stop screen sharing that. I'm going to go back to the original point to see the share. Let's share it real quick. Got 20 minutes in. So we're going to talk about this, man. Let's share it. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, yeah. Epicureanism, man. We got the history of it.
Uh-oh. I guess it's a stopping point. Hold on.
Oh, we went to the same thing.
Hearing any static.
Okay, let's look at this again. Epicureanism is a Hellenistic school or system of philosophy based on the teachings of the Greek philosopher
I was using the Xbox. Okay, headset. Yeah, it's a little static. So now I'm going to use the headphones that I got. Yeah, the smaller headphones from now on. Yeah, let's continue.
Epicurus, and it was founded around 307. Okay. And here's the metaphysics, emphasizing the neutrality, non-interference with human lives, despite some tendencies towards atheism, but it does not actually deny the does not actually deny the existence of gods, which concedes of a immortal, immortal yet material beings made up of atoms inhabiting the empty spaces between worlds in the vastness of infinite space. Okay, and you got Platoism, hedonism, and all this other stuff. Okay, that's just a piece of it they took. So we can go back. So yeah, we're gonna look something up for a minute. See what's going on in the chat. Yeah. I'm gonna look up Epicureanism for a minute. We're not gonna renege this. Yeah, the topic is Epicureanism. We talked about it just now in like 20 some minutes, and it was a good feel of it. And it's like it says, it's got all the doctrines. You see liberalism in there, and he was talking about pieces of it. I won't research it. I'm gonna say is let's say Epicureanism. Is Epicurean? I'll say a form of let's see what we get. Although Epicureanism is a form of hedonism and so forth, declares pleasure to be sold in intrinsic goal concept, absence of pain and fear, cogently understood. Okay, Epicureanism. Okay, let's look at Reddit. I'm gonna do something real quick. Is it philosophy? Long time ago, Epicureans believe. They try to conflate the two. That's what happens when you go on Reddit. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk it. Let's look at the Wikipedia. Let's look at it. I'm just gonna look at it again. Still say pleasure of life. Yeah. To me, it's a form of utilitarianism, man. I don't see no nihilist in me. If I try to search for it, yeah, you do what you do, man. I'm trying to see something. And you got, yeah. I don't know why they say that's nihilism, but it's not to me. To me, it's not. I just don't see it. Nihilism means to destroy. It's change of destruction. You don't hear the terms. Now, skepticism is a form of nihilism. Now, skepticism is nihilistic. See, utilitarianism is Epicureanism, and hedonism is hedonistic. And a lot of people try to say that's nihilist, but it's not. So I'm going to do something real quick. We're going to look at the word hedonistic, and we're going to break this down because I get so tired of individuals trying to say that it's not what it is, but I got proof in the Epicureanism and the basic philosophy that's what it is. I don't have to argue with people about this stuff, man. This is a waste. That's coming from this 2.0 esoteric like space, and they're claiming they're black, pro-black, and all this stuff. It's silly. But I'm getting so tired of these fake esoteric teachers, man. It gets so annoying. And then I don't say hedonism. I don't get the basics of it. And while we're at it, let's go by the wiki just to back up. So since we're going to hedonism, let's go with it. This is a form of some people say it's a form of utilitarianism, and we're going to read the key words. It's nothing nihilistic. See, nihilism is existentialism. It's essential of stoicism, and it's essential of skepticism.
Cracking in the headphones. I see. That's the main causes. So, you know, I'm gonna let it play on.
So I don't know why in the world people say it's nihilist.
Yep. All right. Let's add to the stream. Yeah.
Oh, what's going on, man?
What's up, man?
What's up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I need to do some more research on Epicureanism. Am I pronouncing it right?
Yeah. That's just
Epicureanism.
yeah. I came up with it. It was on a recent live stream, and I've been researching it before I made it, and got into the little discussion with PK Angel off Art of Itmore's channel, and he was so curious about the utilitarianism of it and these two, where they come from. I'm just that's what they talk about over there. 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you had a good stream with Series Eyes. I've heard her voice before on Arta Benica's channel. With
Banaka. Yeah.
yeah. Him with Big J, Triple X about the Aaron Fountain thing.
Yeah. That's her husband. Yeah, Alt Banaka. I just came out of the stream with both of them.
Yeah.
We was discussing, it's public information. We was discussing female submission,
Mm-hmm.
and I was asked, by Alt Banaka. I don't want to shift the topic of discussion. I know the topic is about Epicureanism.
No, it's just a response of my last stream. I'm trying to hear if I hear any static. Mine's like a response. It ain't about Epicureanism. It's just I'm just looking at my last stream, see how well I did, which headphones I need to use. So
okay.
You ain't true. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
it's
but
open panel, so I ain't trying to stick on it. Yeah.
I was watching I was watching a few of your videos on the topic, man. It's interesting, pretty interesting. I like how you bring the topic back to where the space is supposed to be, about intellectualism, because this is stuff we should be talking about.
Yeah. I try to mix it up, and most places I go to, some people talk about the same thing, and then when they talk about this esoteric stuff, understand how the world works, and then when you start listening to dudes like BGS and them, you try to break them down what they're really talking about, and that's what Aaron Fountain does. He tries to look at the ideology, what they spew, and the talking points, and then you do the research for yourself. I try to be that way as well, instead of the gender war thing, because that's big bucks right now.
Oh yeah, that's the form. That's their form of entertainment.
Yeah.
That's their form of entertainment.
Speaking of which, I just came from the breakdown. They was talking about that same old stuff with the weave, and Arta Newstel was trying to test the audience. So I see what he was trying to do. He wasn't trying to get no views or anything. It's just obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Art New Star, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's yeah. I have to frequent his channel more. I haven't seen his channel that much, but yeah, the typical gender war stuff, like you said, it's it's like hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
It's like hip hop now. You could you could rap based on the original foundations of what hip hop was founded on, and keep it intelligent, keep it lyrical, keep it very creative, keep it very artistic. Or you could talk about doing a lot of damn hardcore drugs and going to the club and not making any damn sense when you start rapping and make a lot of money off of it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, unfortunately, this is what this space has become. I know it's so sad when it comes to so-called black people, how when it comes to different movements or different types of cultures, it's funny how it starts off with good intent and it eventually ends up becoming dysfunctional and degenerate.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly what you mean. Yeah, and it's sad that it's becomes like that. And I grew up around half of dysfunction, but what I understand, it's just the way it is with most people. You can't change everything in your family, but they
yeah,
get so reckless. And I've learned not to get so emotional, you know, and
yeah.
it's just sad. And you see them destroy themselves, but once you get older, you realize, oh, they ain't worth your time. I started
Yep,
learning that, yeah, years
yep.
ago.
I learned that a long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
learned that a long time ago because if you don't come to the conclusion, understanding that some family members you got to love them from a distance,
yeah,
then you're just going to stress yourself out, and thus is going to hold you back from what is stuff you need to do in life. And at least that's the way I see it.
hmm,
But you gotta learn how to just a lot of family members just let them be. You know,
yeah.
yeah. But okay, but oh, you're doing a response to a prior video that you made, right?
Yeah, it's just
Just
to hear myself, see how I sound with the headphones I had. Like it was some headphones with the speaker on it, and I'm trying to stick with the smaller ones. I think these are better without the reverb and all that stuff. I'm learning how to use it, so
yeah,
yeah,
oh yeah. This headset is better because before I would have trouble hearing you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm trying to get good at it. So it's not really that hard. It's just doing it, and getting good topics out there, what I want to get out and focus on what this channel is supposed to be, instead of the typical manosphere talking points of the females. I already seen that's established. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
pump and dump and all this other stuff, man.
Yeah. But his channels is lit and entertaining, but the thing is, it's sad how they think like that. You can see people's on the panels. So, I'm observing his stuff. I'm like, okay, this is what he talks about. And then he switches up to money and business, and they got in an argument with about the '08 crash. I think Fantastic and some other guy. He said I was doing wholesale, and then Fantastic kind of disagreed with him on the wholesale. He said, well, wait a minute, nobody was making money on wholesale. Well, he don't understand. People was losing money and dying, but they also was making wholesale and trying to do illegal stuff too. But it was a lot going on back then. No one knows.
Wholesaling what?
Housing market, but Fantastic was talking about the basic standard model. The government, no one's not making money off of real estate back then. And I said, yeah, that's true. But sometimes people was, how they get over on real estate. It wasn't like it is now.
Now, people were still making money off of real estate back
Yeah,
then,
that's what I'm
but
saying.
it's just that the values was it just had the cost of the property just went down. That's it.
Yeah.
You saw him back then. You talking about the 2008 crash, right?
Yeah. They was arguing over Ramil's channel, and I'm tripping off that. Like, is that even important? When he was talking about basic, what was going to happen if you didn't apply pressure on getting the markets. They talk about this crypto stuff, which is kind of funny to me. Like, Ty City's gonna go crazy in June. I'm just gonna tell you that right now, because if he gets back to live again, it's gonna be some heads rolling. I mean, like he knows it's gonna be something bad behind the real estate, and I think him and Kuda talk about, yeah, it's gonna be some changes in the money, because people's pulling out. You don't know how this thing is gonna be in the future, and they're worrying about the same thing. But if I was them, man, it's just like the stock market, just gotta get it while you can. But I don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was a good discussion. Besides pump and dump, that's the only thing he talks about. I think he's focused on the money aspect. So,
You
and
talking Ramil, right?
yeah, his channel. And I've noticed though, and then you have non-game dudes and game dudes kind of agree on the same thing. But the funny thing is they really agree on the same thing. They just switch it up every now and then. But of course, you got your boy, Mr. Elite. He's just entertaining at this point. I don't really take some of the stuff he's serious, but he'll sneak a jab there and there.
Mr. Elite. Who's that? Mr. Elite. Who's that?
I'm talking about Platinum League, you
Oh,
know.
Platinum. Oh
Yeah,
boy.
yeah, he's a fool.
Oh
He does it on purpose, but I said, yeah, he knows the stuff on the entertainment aspect. But my issue with him is I try to ask him like, how you know all these celebrities? He said, well, they gonna show their hand every now and then, you know, talking about money he used to work with. And I said, okay. So you learn about people's backgrounds, you just by talking to them on panels, and
yeah.
you ask them key questions, and they'll answer. See, the problem on the other side or whoever side they were on, they was pressing him too much. No, you gotta wait till he slips up when he says a name, and you just gotta really ask him. You know, you gotta get him where the host is gone. You know, and I think one time Kuda had some problem with his internet, right? And me
Mm-hmm.
and Bill and him hold down the live stream. But what we was talking about is a little bit of politics. Sometimes you can make money off of it, but you can't talk about it online. Of course you can, because sometimes people will try to dox you, try to say you represent this party, then they mess with you on TV. And once you get on TV, you got to conform. You know, he was saying that. I said, yeah, that too. You can't say the stuff we want on here. You know, on here you kind of safe, but in the media world, if you're really monetized, like the PewDiePies in the world, and I try to tell Kuda, you're gonna be censored. They ain't gonna let you do all this dumb beef and stuff. You know what I mean? It's just entertainment. Like that's how they control you. You know, your speech. You know.
Yeah. In the media, there's just a certain way you just have to approach and talk and describe things when you speak. There's
Hmm.
just a certain way you have to articulate yourself in order to get your point across. Or sometimes you could just be rough, rugged, and roll with it. But with that, you're gonna come with a lot of retaliation. And if you could handle the retaliation and handle yourself well, then it is what it is. But eh, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, and I've noticed that with LeBron in his statements about the cop situation when Derek Chauvin got locked up. That's what you got to watch. It's things like that. You got to be ready. You can't just get emotional, and you got to
Yeah,
have composure. That's just what I learned about these panels. Cussing and screaming is cool and all, but when it gets to a point when you try to attack people, like, nah, I ain't trying to be no big bad guy on here. I try to tell them all the time, I don't need to do that. If I debate you, I debate you, but I'm not gonna scream and yell. I'm just not gonna do that.
yeah. I hate that with the screaming and yelling and
Yeah,
cursing people out, and then you talking over people. It's
yeah,
like people didn't finish making their point yet, and then you want to interrupt them. It's like, come on.
yeah. It's common on all sides of the space, and it's funny though. And I try to say, look, I'm not gonna do this. I'm just gonna lead a conversation, and you observe each channel which is gonna be about that, And I think I did the live stream about Auntie's channel when the situation with they had Jessica X there. It was like 5-1 against her. I was like, oh my god, they ganging up on her.
Yeah.
Of course, her boy tried to save at the end, but it was too late. It was a mess then. And then they mad at him. The females were mad at Auntie for trying to keep the conversation above ground, but he didn't stop the over talking. Big J was there. He'll tell you about it. It was a
Yeah.
mess. You
I,
know.
I I I saw a piece of that, and I don't get why Jessica X always put herself in these predicaments, having conversations with these type
Yeah,
of people, explaining herself. Don't sit there, man. Listen, Jessica X should just tell them screw you and just bounce, man.
yeah,
And I think DJ Kuda was telling her that like last year.
yeah.
Don't get yourself,
He's been telling that. He told
yeah.
us. Yeah,
Don't get yourself in these conversations where people ask you these dumb questions and you got to explain yourself. Fuck them, shit. You
yeah,
know, you know what, man? If I get into a room with them, maybe on Agon's channel, I'm gonna tell her that. I'm gonna tell her that. But whether she's gonna listen or not, that's up to her. Because
yeah.
she always
He's
shoot.
so hard headed, man. Like I try to
Yeah.
tell him, look, big homie, look, you can't go around and bully little channels, man. Like you be hanging with old boy, man, but see, he getting you in trouble, man. Let him do that. I expect him to take a L, but you supposed to be bigger than that. I thought you was up there with Kevin.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It's not, and this even go deeper with how big your channel is. It's deeper than that with how big your channel is. It's basically it's just basic when it comes to just communicating in general. You don't have to explain yourself to nobody.
Exactly.
You come into a room and you got people who are really envious of you, who have bad intent when they speak with you and ask you these dumbass questions, try and get you to explain yourself in some sort. It's not worth it, man.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, man. Just leave. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I noticed Big J try to answer her questions and try to say kept it what you call it professional. He just stepped with the topic, would address our talking points, and he did a decent job, but the nigga shit just overpowered everything. You know, it was
Yeah.
on my birthday, and I'll never forget it was Sunday, and and it was just sad, man.
Uh-oh.
I had
Happy
yeah,
belated born day.
thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
And I just turned 33, and I'm looking at some stuff. It was funny at first how they try to gang up on her, and she got them right where they wanted, the typical JX style. And in the beginning, she ran them off the panel, because of her presence, right? And those females couldn't handle that. The only one that can handle her was Celeste, but Celeste is a damn troll. I don't even trust her. That silly laugh, and she should never cammed up. That's what hurt her on Cooties. I tried to tell her, look, you shouldn't have cammed up. They're gonna come at your head like that. I mean, Jessica, Jessica refused to cam up. They tried to tell her to do over there until us, and now she's
Yeah.
not gonna do it until she touches down to the
Yeah.
States. So we'll see. And if she does
Oh,
look like those pictures, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna be like, I'll be the first one you hear it first. I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna leave it alone. She won. And that means the fellas lost if you're simping for her, if you're paying that too much cash. Yeah. I blame the fellas on that. That's on y'all.
hold on. What? No, hold on. Repeat that again. I lost my
ones
focus.
be begging for the number, in the chest and the platform. Yeah, I ain't one of them dudes, man. I respect her little platform, but look, that ain't me. Just to tell her to come up. Look, if she looks like those pictures, I'm gonna leave it alone. That means she won. That's checkmate.
Yeah.
Just back up. You know what I mean? Because if she does touchdown, she says she's gonna come in the summertime. I don't know what month she's gonna come in the U.S. She said up in New York or Jersey or something or in the South. That's what she said. But I don't know if she's gonna touch down, but we'll see.
Well, that's
Yeah.
if it does happen, she's probably not going to record it or something like that.
No,
She
no.
just going to go hang out, have
Yeah.
a fun, and just go back home. When she should. That's what she should be doing.
I
Yeah.
hope she don't get doxxed by some weirdos, man. Like they out here, man.
Right. I just recently saw this one video. I think it was by Taz, right?
Right. Yeah. He's supposed to get tired.
This dude,
Yeah.
I don't know. This dude make me laugh, man. Like, I mean, a lot of people in the manosphere dislikes him. I mean, I don't
hate him. No, I don't hate him.
I don't hate him. I don't hate him. I'm not gonna say I hate. Like, I don't hate him. He never did anything to me. I don't agree with a lot of things that he says, but the dude do make me laugh. like this dude is going to I guess Jessica X went on one of his live streams to speak, and she accidentally turned on the webcam and it showed her feet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the color of her feet is very pale. And then Taz used that to say, look at the color of her feet. Yeah, she's a white woman. I'm like, this dude Taz is stupid, man. Taz don't realize, I mean, Jessica, she's really light in complexion. So it's like, dude, it's obvious that she's very light. It doesn't mean that she's a Caucasian. She's very light in complexion, and her feet is going to show that. I mean, especially when it comes to where she lives. In England, there's not a lot of sun.
No,
people don't get a lot of sun. So therefore, if you're light in complexion, it's very rare you're going to get dark in complexion. It's not like the U.S. where in the summertime you get a lot of sun, or you live in the South where there's a lot more sun, you'll get some color. Nah, man. She's just very pale. It's very possible. It's like, you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
they get sun like every once in a while, but it's not hot. I've noticed they weather be up and down. That strange climate. Yeah, that's it.
Which
go ahead.
Yeah, which goes into the fact that since there's not a lot of sun in where she lives, therefore people that's light in complexion usually stay that way. There's no color, so therefore, when you see the color of her feet and it's very pale, that's just her complexion, man. Yeah. That doesn't mean that she's not a so-called black person. when he tried to do that, it just made me laugh, man. It just
Yeah, that's that B1 black male first agency pro black stuff. Yeah, that's him.
yeah, yeah.
And
That's
when he explained pro black to Bullet Scotty, it does make sense. I mean, yeah, anybody could be pro black, but I mean, it's for us, but I understand other races join it. I mean, that threw him off, though. You know, he has a point right there. That kind of made me laugh, though. At first, I didn't believe it. I'm like, nah. I mean, it depends on what you define pro black. He used to say that a lot. And I'm like, okay. And then B1 said, no, we're just black men first or black people first. That's what that means. I said, oh, okay. So that's what the B1 of his school of doctrine means. Okay, but everybody's got different versions of B1. I said, all right, all
yeah,
right. But he took over a live stream with Platinum Lead. That's the one he tried to bully Bullet Scotty from Brooklyn. I'm like, yeah, yeah,
uh,
Bullet Scotty's done. There's an old video of him getting robbed by some Puerto Ricans or some Spanish dudes in Brooklyn. I didn't
that
know that.
yeah that was in Queens. That's in Queens, and
That's
part of
the
Queens he lived Far Rockaway. Yeah,
that's
that's an old video. That's a very old video.
him getting robbed, and they said he had an accident in his pants. I said, oh man, that was kind of. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just I think he was
Yeah,
real young. I don't know. He's probably our generation, but I said, dude, you already been exposed by what's you call it, Hassan Whiteside, man. That's just it's awful. You know, that's what happens. You go on Platinum Lease channel. He exposed
yep,
these dudes for being dumb, man. I'm like, dude, if you come to Platinum's channel, he exposed Simps and everybody. People be
yeah.
caping in space. No, he's needed for specific reason. I'll tell you why. If you go in there and start lying that the females that you like, he posts those pictures on purpose to see what your head is at. You know, him and DS1, they expose these dudes for who they are if they really tricking and simping out here. And I've noticed that, like, if they're female validation, all that is confirming who these people
But
that follows in the chat. You know, and I've noticed that.
but on the other hand, Platinum Lead is a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
You know, so who is he to expose anybody? He's like a 50-something-year-old idiot.
yeah. Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
doing it for entertainment, but he be getting these fools in these arguments, and he does it. He's trolling them in a way, and I'm like, okay, he's trolling them, and they get mad at him for some reason. I was like, dude, if you join his channel, you're gonna get trolled, man.
yeah, yeah.
He'll put them women on the screen, no matter if they big or small. But if you like that, he's testing your masculinity. Like y'all talk all this stuff. If you're a manosphere dude, he's out on your.
He's testing. Yeah, but it's like you can't test someone's masculinity by showing pictures of females and
I
asking, do
know
they
he
like this
tries
type?
to, but he has so many tricks up his sleeves. But then they get in an argument. Then another dude, like if you don't like a manosphere dude, he let them argue. Like a one on one. I think he does it. Who else does it? Ramil. I get it. I get it. What they trying to do, and man, I think him and Ty City, he did that with Ty City and Fantastic. Ty City just tore Fantastic's head off, man. Like the stuff he been doing, I'm like, oh shit.
Oh
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
nah, yeah,
They
wow.
don't like each other. I mean, that string team thing was supposed to be Kuda and Ty City, but Fantastic wouldn't be the big man, of course. He kind of destroyed that. I hate to say that, but it's too many egos for one.
Oh,
Yeah, they were competing the Black Brain Trust. I know they were all in Brain Trust. Kuda said they all want the same thing. The problem was it's too many egos. They just couldn't.
yeah,
They
yeah.
couldn't
So
cope with this. Yeah,
it's like in general. I'm just being in general. I see a lot of people, content creators, once they become very famous, they have an ego problem. And I'm like, to me, I don't understand it because because what ego is there to have when you're only popular on the internet,
right.
in a small space, and it's not to disrespect anybody when I'm saying that, but I see that a lot with a lot of people over the years. Because you and I, we've been here for a very long time. We've seen people come and go.
Yeah,
We've seen this shit repeat itself.
yeah. I'm
So so
understanding now. Yeah,
so I'm just asking in general, what would be the point to be egotistical just because you're popular in one small community on the internet? It's nothing to be egotistical about,
yeah.
in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. It was funny. I told you I just came from a live from Art Banaka's channel
Uh huh.
like a half hour ago before I came here with Series Eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we was discussing some interesting stuff. You
Yeah, I
know,
thought
and
that was his wife. You said that's his wife?
yeah, that's his wife. Yeah, they married.
Ah,
Yeah,
I did not
they
know that, man.
yeah
That's
they
what I learned. Okay.
they married. So towards the end, we got into me and Series Odds. We got into a little debate, a little discussion, right? Because prior to, and I'm not trying to disrespect her. She cool, I'm
Yeah.
just telling her how it went down. I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm just saying how things went down, because in the beginning we were speaking about female submission because I made 2 videos about it,
Yeah.
and she was stating how the reason why a lot of females have an issue with the word submission is how the word has been portrayed in society, right?
Right.
So what I'm saying is that, so my response to that was the fact that, okay, if that's the case, people need to sit back and clear whichever misunderstandings they have with the word, and actually be specific upon the definition and the proper context of the term submission and what it really is, right?
Right.
So
Excuse me. Go
late
ahead.
so later on, we started speaking about the Hebrew Israelite belief system, right?
Right. Right.
And they was referring to it as a religion, and I stated that I don't see what I believe to be a religion. I look at it as spirituality, and I brought up the meaning of religion, which means to bind, right?
Mm-hmm.
In uh in the video, I said to bind your hands. So I said that I don't believe that believing the Most High is somehow something that's going to tie you down. To bind means to tie down, right? But I said to bind your hands. So I said I don't believe, you know, uh, uh, this is what I'm saying in context. I said I don't believe found the Most High is something that's supposed to bind somebody or tie somebody down. So then Serious Eyes tried to make this comparison where, okay, well, the same way you don't like you don't like to use the word religion is the same way a lot of females don't like to use the word submission. But I told her it's incomparable because the actual word religion comes from the etymology of it actually means to bind, which means to tie or to fast together. And I
Right.
also added one more thing. I said also, there's nowhere in the Bible, because us as Hebrews, like we believe in the Bible, and there's nowhere in the Bible that says that found the Most High is a religion. So therefore, it's not that I don't like to use the word. It's just that based on what the scriptures say, it's not a religion.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I said, so therefore, trying to compare the fact that I don't use the word religion to females not liking the word submission is incomparable. It's not like I don't like the word. It's just that the Bible never says that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like teaching in letters. If you read Torah and all the old scripts and towels, it's the message of the Heavenly Father, man. You have to
Yeah.
live by them. You have to live by what you say.
Yeah. But what she was trying to do, she was trying to make it seem that I just somehow have a personal hatred for the word religion, that I have a personal problem with the word, and trying to compare that to females who have a personal problem with the word submission. I'm saying I don't have a. So what I was telling is like I don't have a personal problem with the word religion. I'm just saying that what I believe in, it's not religion according to what the Bible says. So therefore, you can't compare the two. So
Yeah.
you know, so then she tried to come back and say, well, so do you believe that he said, well, so when she tried to come back and say, well, Wacky, do you okay, are the fact that you want a submissive woman, is it only because that's what the Bible says? And I told her that's incomparable. That has no relation to what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, so it was funny. It was, but I'm being off topic. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's just I'm just responding to video, see how I sound, man. It's like
Yeah.
I try to make it like an open panel. I'm just putting something up, but I think on Friday I'm gonna make one about asceticism on that one. It's gonna be a long one, and try my best on that one, and just gonna put that out there. And I
Oh,
think
okay.
I got another one on the 15th about hedonism. Just knock that one out. A few
Okay.
things about nihilism. Just break two of the topics up here a lot in the space.
Hmm.
Yeah, just keep on my reading, trying to get sharp at what I do on this channel. So
Okay. Cool. Cool.
yeah,
So, uh, so you said that earlier in this video. You said that skepticism is a form of nihilism, right?
yeah, it is. It has some of the traits I've learned about nihilism. They talk about skepticism, determinism, and all that. That's what they talk about in BGS's circles. It's so esoteric. That's what the
Mm,
Igmores believe. Of course, they believe in the pro-black stuff, but it's like the SYSPM. Their concepts are similar. But what I'm learning is a lot of stuff is esoteric to me, and they try to use that as the anchor of 2.0. See, 3.0, they try to have that Sigma teaching. It's a little different, but I try to
mm,
take complex. Now, BGS deals with esoteric philosophy. Listen to his name, Black Gnostics.
yeah.
Gnosticism. Think about it. They do believe in the Most High. They just deal with knowledge, all day long. They just spread it out. It's esoteric, but
Yeah.
agnostic is unsure about the heavenly Father, but the
Right.
atheist, we already know he don't have no understanding. He don't believe in anything. It's a
Hmm.
way to argue with them. I dealt with them for years. When I was a Christian, I had to cut them off.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's how you deal with Zero Channel. You got a lot of atheists on his chat, and you notice and on panels, that's how
Yeah.
they think. It's hard to argue with them. That's why I
Yeah.
argue with Zero because he don't understand. He's just being himself, and I respect that. At least he's honest. At
Hmm.
all. You know, the minus the trolling, but I understand where he's coming from.
Okay. Yeah. 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 I mean, with BGS, he hinted towards who he really is because when he was going back and forth with Soul and Black, remember that?
Yeah, yeah, I
And
remember that.
because Soul and Black really hit them in the head because Soul and Black was critiquing 2.0, saying that 2.0 had failed. Basically, what he's saying what Soul and Black was saying in a nutshell, it was that 2.0 failed to continue what 1.0 started by actually being active in the realm of politics.
Exactly.
And to make the long story short, BGS responded to Soul and Black by saying, "Hey, listen, I didn't come on, I didn't come on to YouTube to be politically active. That's not my job." That's what he said in a nutshell.
Mm,
He said, he's basically said,
I
"I
remember
study
that.
systems,
Mm-hmm.
I study the way the world works,
Mm-hmm.
and I study." He says something about he studies certain things. Like I said, I'm just paraphrasing what he's saying. I'm not saying that's not what he said verbatim, but I'm paraphrasing what he's saying.
Yeah, he studies
Yeah,
philosophies and
yeah,
basically he's saying I'm a geopoliticalist. He's
yeah,
not, and he'll tell you this on this channel. He said I don't get into domestic politics, and you know what he mean by that? It is.
yeah,
I agree with him on that. I don't tell you
yeah.
what.
But one thing, hold on. Well, not to cut you. Sorry, one thing,
Go
but
ahead.
he also said something about he studied different systems and he studied how the world really works. He said something like that,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
he said it hinted towards what he really was is a Gnostic brother. And if that's how he wrote, that's how he wrote. You know what I'm saying? Hey, listen, at least he's honest with that. So
yeah.
hey, but go
Oh,
ahead, brother.
and the reason, yeah, you're right. And all that is what I'm saying is he does deal with geopolitics. That's the whole thing. What you just said. That's who he is. And he tell you, listen to the name. He's I'm a pragmatist, and he'll tell you, yes, I
Yeah.
do study some form of utilitarianism. He used the black pill as a crutch, like the nihilist piece. But
Hmm.
those nihilist black pillars you see in 2.0 don't understand that dude is utilitarian. The reason he made that video with Batman and Owlman, he broke down those philosophies for a reason to learn. Like sometimes the world's like that. If you look at systems, talking about the political systems that we deal with, like liberalism and conservatism, he'll tell you the rest of the world thinks we're liberal anyway. There is no such thing as conservatism outside of America. And the way you break it down, you're in it in America, but outside of it, laissez-faire, capitalism, and so to speak, and different systems, and people try to argue with that. No, you got to do the homework because he's
Mm-hmm.
actually a scholar. That's why PhDs in that space is big because reading their intentions wasn't about politics. You know why? Because politics takes work. The
Yes.
actual outcomes and what MOT talks about that takes work. See what they try
Mm-hmm.
to do. You can't do what BGS does. Well, actually, you need both. But here's the thing: they don't want to go against the Masonic top, the Jesuits and the EWs. The Edomites up top.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to go there. You know why? Because they put pressure like they did us back in 2012. And that's why BGS is very careful what he's saying online. He even said that on live stream to us. He said, dude, I got to be careful. If you say the right, the magic button, you're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They done flagged his Igmore channel for certain things. And, he has a lot of haters because he's a lot of subscribers. I get it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because see him and Anger Man, they going at it. Anger Man's going at it with Beasley, and
Oh
it's a
boy.
mess right now.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
When yo man, when Beasley was that well, but speaking of BGS, yeah, BGS, I've been watching one of his lives, and BGS was talking about how he said something about if you say the wrong thing, you might get a special phone call from DC. He said something like that. I was laughing. I
yeah,
was laughing, but what I
yeah.
respect about okay, but if that's how he feel, that's on him, But what I respect about 1.0 is that we knew the risk and we didn't give a damn because our mindset was the truth had to get out there.
Right, right, right.
I don't give a damn. That was our mindset, and that's what you have to have. Yes, there's some risks, but if you want to get the truth out there, and you want, if so-called black people are really serious about progressing, you can't be afraid of the risk, man.
Yeah.
You can't be afraid of the risk. Yeah, there's going to be risks involved. Yeah, and it'll be war, but you gotta be a warrior. You gotta. That's
Yeah,
just
you got to.
yeah.
I
That
tell that to Kuda. The reason, if you learn my history, he did some research on me before I even subscribed to his channel. I mean, he has a little stuff, entertainment, a mix of little knowledge. But he said, I did some research on you. He said, you've been around a long time, sir. He talking about me.
mhm,
And I said, yeah, he said, you've been in this space longer than anybody. I said, yeah, I understand it very well. And what he thinks he learned about me was, he said, yeah, those topics. I said, yeah, I just do it just to put it out there. So I make content. I don't have
yeah,
time to beef with everybody because a lot of times these dudes, they just don't know how to have fun. And, I troll half the times. I don't really go in all trolling like Beasley does. See, Beasley, he likes to mess with you and he tries not to dox everybody, but I believe Angry Man dox more people than Beasley, but since
damn,
part of it more don't want to believe that. There's some truth to it. See, when you dox somebody, it's like a civil war. It's like hacking. You're trying to
yeah,
beef with somebody, but you're not trying to kill nobody. You know what I mean? It ain't got to
hmm
that level. Now Taz was doxxed. That's why he has against with 2.0. Him and
uh,
Rue because
uh,
they knew these dudes. They all came from Obsidian. I call them the Oblivion. The Oblivion done stress everybody out. Angerman cannot stand him. O'Shea, you know what I mean? 2.0 is done, basically.
yeah,
They're
it's done.
divided. Yeah, they're done. That's why I don't pick sides on that side on Kuda. I said, Kuda, you better stay out of it because you trying to do your own thing with the tech, with the Udemy courses. You trying to get away from this because
Yeah, stay out of it.
yeah, I try to tell them, you come and going. Everybody's got their own thing, and it happens. That's part
Yeah,
of
yeah,
these new spaces. But and Gabe was dissing the brain trust. Well, the brain trust, they have their own problems. They got family problems. Some of them doing different things.
yeah,
It's just the space needs a little change. Someone's going to create it. They're going to pick up the message. But 1.0 still stands strong because it was
yeah,
so great.
yep,
Because we did things.
hmm
Everybody moves on when they get older.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is true. Yo, speaking of Angry Man, I remember back in 2018, Angry Man tried to dox Obsidian, but he doxed the wrong person.
Yeah.
he Angry Man was pointing out somebody's gas bill, thinking that it was Obsidian, saying that Obsidian can't afford to pay his gas bill, and Obsidian was talking about, whoa, that's the wrong person. That's not me.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm saying, I mean, I'm laughing, but in all things that people should not be doxing people, man. Okay, if you want to just make a video and roast somebody, okay, cool. But doxing people, you're going a little bit too far, especially when you bring people's families out there, man.
Yeah,
Because that's and I keep saying it. That's going to get. I'm not hoping that. I'm not wishing that on somebody, but realistically, the way I look at it, if this keeps going on, somebody's going to end up getting killed, man.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't
I'm
do
seeing
that.
it happen. Yeah, and it's gonna be the 2.0 guys and
Yeah,
some of the 3.0 guys. Ain't gonna be all 3.0. It's gonna be some because they participated too. I
yeah,
try to tell them, leave this shit alone. Don't feed the troll.
yeah,
Like David Johnson said, don't feed the troll because you give them too much power. They look for weakness like that. You get emotional, man.
yeah,
Put yourself out there. That's what Beasley's doing. See, he's not mad. You know what I mean? He lives in
yeah,
LA. Look, like you
yeah.
can find him. He ain't scared. Y'all the ones scared talking on this big stuff, threatening to kill somebody. That goes for MOT and an anger man. Like, look, dudes,
Hmm.
y'all hurting yourself. see,
Yeah,
see, what I've learned about their troll size on their chats, they can turn on you. They ain't got your back. You know,
right.
they said it best. And I look at them, brothers, y'all gonna be the downfall. See what it is. I hate to say it. That boy A24, Mister, he wants that spot so bad so he can be the next big. And him and Ramil, they want that spot so bad so they can
Hmm.
replace brain trust and conflicts. All them. I get it. It's a lot of jealousy in these circles. And what I've noticed, what Beats was saying, yeah, it's the same thing. They all want BGS a spot. They want to trip him so bad because he's the guy on the top. And then Kevin, he's just mainstream. He said, "Well, I left the manosphere. I'm gonna be famous." You know what I mean? Yes, one say he ain't did nothing for this space. Of course he didn't. I saw it too. I never thought he was manosphere. He was used it for like 2 years and then left. He
Yeah.
said talking points of BGS, and BGS said he's still sport. He said Kevin's my boy. I said, all right, BGS, you gotta take this L then. That's what BGS one was saying. And I was on Shango Internal channel last night. He said, y'all gotta take this L. But they was debating this one female named Jay Speaks. And she showed her ass, boy, showing her true feminist side. Said, look, I'm 40 some years old, I already had a kid and she wants to have another one. They pressure with the questions, and she didn't want to handle it. She's look, y'all sound like angry black men. I'm like, okay, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yo, yeah.
yeah,
Oh man, it's with Kevin Samuels. He's already mainstream. Forget about it. When you got people in the mainstream media contacting him, communicating with him, talking about him, he already mainstream. You see, Tommy Sotomayor could have gone that route, but I
right.
told people he burnt bridges with so many individuals that could have helped them go to that spot. Tommy Sotomayor burnt bridges with Tim Alexander. Do you know who Tim Alexander is?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Yeah, he's a film director.
Hmm.
And Tim Alexander was telling him go into entertainment. That's where you need to go to. And Tommy Sotomayor burnt bridges with Jason Black and with Tariq Nasheed, who both of them have connections to the entertainment industry.
And Corey Holcomb too.
And Corey Holcomb. Oh, he burnt bridges with Corey Holcomb?
Yeah, they
See,
was all cool with Tariq, remember? Because I remembered all that.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Corey exposed who Tommy was. He said he called him a bitch ass nigga and clowned him. Yeah, they went at his head. That's what hurt Tommy. And Corey kind of stopped his career. He's the reason why he ain't gone further. Corey was the key to the door. He's a comedian. He knows
Yeah.
all the celebrities.
Yeah,
But
yeah, Corey. Yeah.
yeah, Tariq and them dudes, I consider them the F word fake because they barely even talk. I give Tariq a pass on this. He knows Michael Moore in the pimping days because Michael Moore used to be, I don't want to say a pimp, a former player, whatever, like PUA guy. That's where Tariq got his stuff from. I was trying to tell that to Kuda.
Yeah.
Yes, they was a part of 1.0, but they wasn't the standard. It was the
Exactly.
it was the intellectuals and pseudo. I mentioned on his last stream the pseudo
But
intellectuals and the intellectuals
but
and the
hold
that was during spirituality. They supported, the smart people in 1.0 like yourself.
that is true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is
y'all
true.
own that space, and
Yeah,
then the PUA guys came after. You know what I
they
mean? Like
can't.
Stephen D, he birthed those guys, but he wasn't a PUA guy. He was just a dating guy. He
Yeah.
was what
But
on Hitch. You know that movie Hitch.
yeah,
That's what
Hitch.
Stephen
Yeah.
Dean
But let
is.
me yeah,
Go ahead.
but let me get to the point. Hold on, sober down, because I was getting to the point, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, what really yeah, Corey Holcomb too. I never knew that, but him burning bridges with Tim Alexander, Tariq Nasheed, and Jason Black also hurt Tariq Nasheed, obviously also hurt Tommy Sotomayor, because those guys that I just named, they also have ties to the entertainment industry.
Right.
Tariq
Right.
Nasheed and Jason Black and Tim Alexander, they know people.
Yeah.
They may not be big time industry individuals. They might not be as on the level of Corey Holcomb as far as being known on a mainstream level, but they know a lot of behind the scenes individuals
Facts. They do.
that could help elevate Tommy
Yeah.
Sotomayor. And Tommy Sotomayor burnt his bridges with all of them, man, because Tommy Sotomayor let his ego get in the way.
Right. Right. Right.
Tommy also burnt bridges with Charlemagne, because he
Absolutely.
was friends with Charlemagne behind the scenes, and Charlemagne was trying to get him in the Breakfast Club, but was never able to get through. So Tommy Sotomayor, I remember that, was making videos talking shit about Charlemagne, not realizing it's probably wasn't Charlemagne's fault why he couldn't get into the Breakfast Club. It's probably could have been other
Right.
people behind the scenes that Charlemagne worked for that said nah, because Charlemagne don't have the final say as far as who gets on the show. It's his bosses. So Tommy Sotomayor, in my opinion, quickly reacted towards the fact that he was never invited to go to the Breakfast Club, and he took it out on Charlemagne.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like people like that you don't burn bridges with.
Right.
If y'all have, if someone promised to do something for you and it didn't fall through, communicate with that person behind the scenes. And whatever happens, happens. But you don't publicly try to insult them and humiliate them, because this
Right.
person could probably help you with other opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
That person, he might not have been able to help you to get on the Breakfast Club, but because Charlemagne has a name for himself, he could have helped you go someplace else.
Right.
That could have helped further your career into the mainstream. But
Yeah.
Tommy Sotomayor, he's stupid, man. He's stupid.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
go ahead. What were you saying about
I
DJ
was
Kuda?
I was saying Kuda about the history of 1.0. You have a mix of a lot of brothers. They may have the intellectual down, the economics, and the pro-black stuff. But you did have some guys that understand the dating thing, but that wasn't the standard. It was like, like the whole relationships things. Think about it. We wasn't
Yeah.
talking about that as a thing. That was Sergeant Willie PC. What y'all didn't know, yes, he was somewhat of you can call him a game guy, whatever. He was everything, but
Yeah, he
his
was not a game guy. He was not a game guy, but go ahead.
I ain't saying he was, but in a sense, if you want to talk about today's ministry, yeah, you can consider him that, because he talked about a lot of relationship stuff. But here's the thing, though, he had an art to it. Like one minute he says I like something, next minute he said I like what, the dark skinned woman. He was beefing with this bisexual guy. What's his name? J Love 47. I remember him.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
both from Philly, and like I told you
yeah.
this, that was his rival, and what got him so big, he challenged him on feminism. That's how the talks got started. And then a lot of people took some of the talking points, probably seeing his videos and how he attacked him, tried to tell the dude go to therapy. He didn't listen to him and said, look, and Philly just went at it, and Kuda has to understand 1.0 had a standard, man. They didn't allow that dating stuff. That was a small thing. That was about 10% of the conversation, or
Yeah,
5%.
yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
realistic.
It was the standard of 1.0 was pro-black, and it was about intellectualism.
Yeah.
You see, Tariq Nasheed, he came into the fold. Yeah, he talked about dating and macking,
Yeah.
but he also spoke about certain intellectual stuff too,
Yeah. He had a
which,
bit of
which is which is why a lot of people in 1.0 embraced him. They embraced him with the intellectual stuff, and not only that,
yeah.
when Tariq Nasheed, when he was speaking about game shit,
Mm-hmm.
he also gave awareness to like the deception that males experience when they're in relationships. So people gravitate towards that. But he also had an intellectual side to him where he spoke about, the geopolitical, what he's doing now, what Tariq Nasheed doing now. He was doing both
Yeah.
back during the 1.0 days. So that's why he was embraced with 1.0.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, the standard was people like myself, Soul and Black, Dark One Son, we was the standard. You know,
Yeah.
it was really about intellectualism, and and speaking about the socio-political and economic mistreatment that so-called black males was facing in society.
Hmm.
Yeah, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was saying that, and I was telling Kuda, like, yeah, you had the prodigal game guys like him and a few others he brought in, but Sergeant Willie P was talking about issues like that too. He tried to get on the dating scene, didn't work because his talking points was popular, and a lot of those dating guys copied him, and that's why you got Tommy, that's why you got Tariq,
Yeah,
why these dudes. But look at Obsidian and O'Shea, they did the same thing. That's what 2.0 is. They're a
yeah,
model of 1.0. And Angry Man try to be you wacky in a way. See, you
yeah,
have your own character. You had the intellectual part. You had your small entertainment, but you were serious half the time because you had a belief. Angry Man has this what boss talk and his cult like following. Think about it.
yeah,
It's on a bigger stage because he showed himself. You did too. He tried to
yeah,
do it because you're from the same area in New York. That's what I've noticed. And then BGS was kind of like the Soul and Blacks with not showing your face, whatever. That's what 2.0 try to model as, try to replace y'all. And I've noticed that. I'm like, how
yeah,
can you do that? And I look at the model of them. Okay, so they love MGTOW, Igmore, and I think Mad Bus Driver, he's not a part of Mansphere. That's what Kuda said. Of course he's not. He probably came from mainstream and then created his own thing called SYSBM. And
mm-hmm.
they're trying to expose who they are. See, MOT wasn't a part of that in the beginning. He just joined it
Mm-hmm.
later on. I
Yeah,
noticed that. And I was like, yeah, that's when they have a different type of style of thing. I don't mess with them like that. I understand though, what they believe in, like dating out and stuff. And a lot of people disagree with them on a lot of stuff. Well, that's them. If you don't agree, that's just how they think. Those brothers have a mission. Some people disagree with the sting ops over there. I try to tell them be careful, man, because you don't want to be looking bad over there now because America trying to legalize prostitution. You don't know how it's going to go. So
mm-hmm.
I try to tell them be careful because they targeting y'all and MGTOW on the internet, especially YouTube. They flagging their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on their knees right now. But 2.0 is popular because the Igmore stuff in MGTOW. I've noticed that. And SYSPM came later. Then you see them in 3.0. They're popular in Stream Team and Brain Trust. I've noticed that.
Yeah,
So that's what the Manosphere is now. See, back then you had Wall of Silence, you had MRA,
yeah,
the pro blacks like Cyrus Suit and Seti with the RPG colors, Hebrew
yeah,
Israelite. You had the esoteric people deal with metaphysics like Brother Dawood and all them.
yeah,
That was our generation. And I was trying to
yeah,
tell that King Sigmund that SYSBM argument that I was on a panel with MOT and him. It's just the same thing I seen uh, almost decades ago.
yeah,
So it ain't nothing new. This
yeah,
will come and go, and people will remember. I said, "What happened to you guys?" I said, "Well, we fell out over small disagreement. Everybody want the same thing. It's just the game versus non-game was a selling point for Kevin Sanders. That's all it was. It wasn't no beef. They just wanted content so they can get
yeah,
their little cash out. So that's why I step away from it. And I said, "Nah, y'all can have that."
yeah,
I just hate on
yeah,
one man that y'all was cool with. He got videos and documents on you. And if he ever thinks about going mainstream, he used to be a rapper and knows some guys like AR Ab and them. And he does YouTube, I don't know, full time, but he deals with tech. I'm talking about Kuda's background, even though he's a
uh-huh,
DJ, and be aspiring DJ. And I told him, you better hook up with Gilly and them that has the podcast. And I tried to encourage him to go hook up with them. They'll help you out. They see your channel, they'll have you blown up if you're struggling. I mean, if I was you, you can leave the manosphere. The young guys can model that. Or if you don't want to model that, don't model Ramil, just model the other young guys like Brownsburg, the ones that deals with the intellectual side. It's not popular, you know.
yeah. Don't, and you don't even need to model yourself after anybody. Just be yourself.
Yeah, that's what
Be
I'm saying. I try to
it's
tell
just
myself. I said that on Clue, be yourself. Even the ones that's trying to make content, just be yourself. Kuda's trying to tell you the same thing. Don't do what I do. It's like zero. Do your own research. Don't even listen to me. Just same here. Don't even listen to
yeah.
me. Do your
See,
own research.
see,
Yeah.
with Kuda, right?
Hmm.
I mean, he had a niche. He had a niche when it comes to certain equipment. He had a niche, you know, where he was promoting, or teaching people about certain equipment you could use to make better content. See, that was a good niche. But the thing is, he then tried to go overboard with it
Yeah,
by in a way, by trying to diss those who's using, what's considered to be quote unquote lesser type of
yeah,
equipment.
yeah,
When he when he
yeah,
got at when he started talking about the Blue Yeti microphones.
yeah. Him and War Master, yeah, they always talk about, but they're tech guys. They picky about
Yeah,
certain quality
but
tech. I get what he's coming from.
but my thing is he had a niche to just educate people about certain equipment. But when you start going overboard, trying to say, well, you know, I think he just went overboard where he tried to argue with certain people that don't have the type of equipment that he deemed to be high quality, and saying that that's why your content sucks because you don't have a good microphone. You know, he's
Yeah,
you you know he went too far with that. You don't utilize that to try to insult or diss people, man. You just utilize he should have just utilized that niche just to educate people. But whoever's not gonna go by what he's educating people on, let it go.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
he's doing that now. We had a talk on the panel, and he said, "I'm focused on teach people at the Udemy courses." He's learning himself, and he's learned that, like, man, that ain't got me nowhere. I mean, he has some good content. Yes, you can do that, but it ain't for everybody. He has to realize that. And I think Angry Man tried to tell him, dude, you gotta do your own thing, man. Quit
Yeah.
worrying about the manosphere shit. That's what Platinum's trying to tell him. Like, look, you used to have a music background. Now you're trying to be a DJ and better equipment. If you're in the podcast as a cootie, you can do that. You can have your own show with your music and stuff like that. And I've noticed you can have your own show. You don't have to have my ass on the panel. I got my own content. You know what I mean? I'm just
Right.
bringing you some views, but not all. You could do it yourself. I don't want to be a co-host. I said, no, that's because that pissed off Mr. 824. He's like, how do you get that? No, because you loud and you trying to be like Tommy. You got clown on Ramil's panel with Tommy uh, bullying him twice on his stuff.
Damn.
He don't care nothing about Fantastic and MOT and them. He made him look like fool on Lucario when he was interviewing on Ramil's panel. See, Tommy took over the whole panel. And I wonder why these guys try to leave Tommy alone, man. That man is trolling y'all. You gotta understand he comes from the beef and roast sector. He's gonna get under your skin. They don't know when to quit. Like y'all ain't on his level, man. If you was, that's why I don't want to get up there. I said, Ramil, you,
but,
you got it, man.
but my
Yeah, you there?
hello.
Oh,
Hello? Yo, you
yeah,
can hear me, man?
yeah, I can hear you. He was borging a little bit. Go ahead, what you were saying.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. What I was saying is that this has become this competition over fame instead of instead of making this space about the actual message. You know, people
Oh, he bored out. Well, yeah, man. I was just looking at my videos and I think he dropped out. But yeah, man, I'm just gonna skim through this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Okay, let's look at here for a minute. I'm just gonna play this.
Okay, let's see the comment. Okay, so this is something that's real quick. Let me get this out of here. Start from up. William Hunter from Greater Good within his own space because there's so much infighting with guys. I mean, now this situation with them two guys isn't fantastic. I mean,
just know what's to be done in the situation, you know. And
Yeah. Your stuff's good, Wacky?
Okay, my stuff's good now. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I
My
can
fault,
hear
man.
you. Go ahead what you were saying about the competition and instead of be focused on the message. That's what you
Yeah.
say. Yeah, go
You
ahead.
you have now you have these different content creators who are now competing against each other over popularity,
Yeah,
and they want to topple. They see someone who has more popularity than them, and they want to topple down, that content creator, and that's not what this space was founded upon. It's listen, it's enough room for all content creators to have a level of fame, but at the end of the day, this space was built upon helping so-called black males
right. Right.
and giving them awareness of the position that they play in the society, and enlighten them in the mistreatment that they face, and giving them solutions on how to overcome the how to overcome the struggles that they're going through, to help them become better men, and eventually help the black male as a collective overcome the systematic mistreatment that they've been facing for years and years and years. But instead of a lot the content creators of today utilizing their fame to do just that, to help elevate this the to help elevate the image and status and conditions of so-called black males, specifically in America, you got these content creators in this space that want to sit there and compete with other content creators over popularity. It's like you want to replace somebody. Dude, you're not. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Everybody's their own, man. It's stupid. It's stupid. And yeah,
yeah. And that's
yeah.
basically what it is. They trying to see who is sharping who. Now the gender war stuff, it's like a competition. Who's gonna get views of women on panels and things like that. And I think DS one said it best. Like, if you're focused on that much, that's a problem, you know. And he said, I
Yeah.
thought spaces for men, and like, dude, you have to remember 1.0, you had a balance of everybody, male and female. But yeah, males were the message, yes.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you have to understand there's a reason why certain females look for these spaces. They looking for who has male content. You know, I think BJ said it best. Yes, there was gonna come a time there was gonna be in these spaces again because of these panels and chats. That's the first time I ever seen one. When I first saw it in 2019, when I was coming back from my workplace, you know, I had this little self reflecting. The space to me, what I've noticed, um, it's a little different. You know, when they had chats. When I first saw their videos and live stream how they did things, I was sky watching and looking at their replays, right?
Hmm.
And when I first started going in their chats, and then when you started live streaming, and I saw you with Sheila E. when the old live stream you was on, you talked to this one fella about the history of the manosphere. And
Hmm.
I looked at that replay and I said, yeah, and this is before you did a live stream. You did something into effect, you know, over last year. And last year was crazy because the election. You predicted Biden was going to win because, yeah, when Trump messed up the COVID and the economy, he already lost it from the start. BGS, they all predicted he was going to win, but we didn't think he was going to pick Kamala Harris, though. But I think Fantastic predicted that. I said, yeah, in some way, yeah. She got
Yeah.
destroyed by those female candidates, but she had a good track record with the police, even though it was wrong what she did, but it was good for them. It don't matter.
Hmm.
Police care about numbers. They don't care about if you're doing good or bad. Look at Derek Chauvin. They don't care nothing about him. He get replaced. They just
Yeah.
don't. They want the good guy image. They don't want to be the bad guys. You know, it's for the children. You know, to look at. This is our
Hmm.
model. Police. You know what I mean? That's authority. They taught us that in the South. Like, look, you can't look at them as the bad guys. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
society don't agree with that. But in the top, nah, we got the last word. You know what I mean? And that's what we seeing in these spaces. They want to be these guys. Well, they pick and choose who they want. You saw how they picked Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They picked Kevin, and You know.
Yeah, they upset right now. I think most of them are upset. They don't want to admit it on these panels, but they can show the gay stuff with him with the high school stuff. They can call it gay, whatever, but still, he's still gonna shine through all that, you know. And I
Yeah.
just realize on real, who cares?
I said I told people this early last year. I said this nigga going to be on TV. He's going to
Yeah,
be mainstream.
yeah,
And people disagree with me when I said that. I said, dude, I seen it. I said this dude Kevin is going mainstream. He's and let me tell you guys, and let me tell you something. Well, I'll say you guys. I'm only speaking to one person, but let me say this, sir, Obiahu. Kevin Samuels have not even reached the peak of his popularity yet. He's still growing. Yeah, he haven't reached the peak of his popularity yet. He have not. He's still growing.
yeah.
Yeah, he's still growing. You know, I said this guy is going to replace Steve Harvey. He's the new Steve Harvey, bro.
Hmm.
He's going. Kevin Samuels will have his own talk show on national daytime TV. He will. That's one. Two, Kevin Samuels will be in movies because Hollywood love his type. And he's and I'm not trying to poke fun of him, but Kevin Samuels, he fits that image. I told people that. Number one, he's clean cut. He's this clean cut, articulate black male, right?
Right.
And he's very articulate, and he has this. His demeanor comes across as non-intimidating,
Facts.
and Hollywood love a black male with that type of demeanor. And don't forget that whole people call it feminine, but the style of dress and how he conducts himself. People say that he acts feminine, he dresses feminine, but honestly, in today's society, that is the style that's popular now amongst male fashion.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
It's
Yes.
it's acceptable. So he fits all the description of the type of black man that will be a good look on TV. He fits that description. you know, and he knows the right thing to say at the right time and how to articulate himself. Like I don't agree with a lot of things that he say, but I have to give him credit where credit is due. He fits the image of Hollywood. And let me tell you, with Hollywood, it's all about image. You don't even need talent to make it in Hollywood now. It's all about fucking image
Right, right,
and
right.
whether or not your image is able to sell a lot. And Kevin Samuels, his image have already transcended different demographics, which means that he has what it takes to make a lot of money for a lot of big time television corporate big time television companies. So he will have his own talk show and he will be featured on movies because you know why? Because a lot of a lot of romantic comedies they sell, right? And you're gonna see in the future Kevin Samuels making cameos in a lot of romantic comedies. You're gonna see it. Yeah. I'll tell you, okay, I'll tell you this. If Steve Harvey makes another version of Think Like a Man, another part, whether it's part 3 or 4, if he makes another part of Think Like a Man, you know that film, right?
Yeah, I know exactly about that film.
Kevin Samuels will make a cameo on there.
I agree with you right there. Yes, he would.
Yep.
Yes, he would.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've spoken too much, man. But yo, thank you for having me on, brother.
Oh,
You know?
not a problem. You're welcome anytime, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
You're always welcome over here.
Yeah, thank you. No problem. You know you're always welcome on
Oh,
on my panels
of course,
also. But
man. Of course, man. I always pay respects to you, man. Keep up the great work, man. I mean,
thank you.
I've always gonna support. Yeah, same here.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you, boy. You have a good night, bro.
All right. See you. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah. I'm just looking at my little content over here, man. I'm just like saying, yeah, this is great, man. Like, I'm gonna let you hear the rest of this, and I'm gonna knock it out later.
And that's it. You don't have that's freedom. Like I just talked about somebody 8 years ago and forgot about it. Now you face to face with this guy. Because like, how can you approach? You know? Yeah. Game versus non-game, it actually started about to be this anti that anyway, but it's really you're igniting the so-called gender war that's already over online. But in the real world, it's a problem, but it's fading away soon. They only got a couple years left until we get another person in office. But you got guys that's anti that. They actually destroy the space. But DS one broke it down. You have a lot of a lot of incels the whole time. And the reason why Angry Man gave up on it, they didn't want to be checked by him and his mercenaries. And he broke that down and said, well, I did not know that. That's what they wanted. That's what you got guys like MOTs and hacks that make things that call like that. And yeah, it's kind of static on that one. Awesome. They will get exposed. They will get exposed. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was me. I had that static. Yeah, that was me. About this philosophy, I'm like, yeah, you got some cultures practice it, but the total of utilitarianism is a lot harder because the minority top group runs the world. You know, like I don't want to say the Jazz or some things, but the other people. Yeah, I had some static. You know, with the Jays, they work together as a collective, but they're dangerous. You know, yeah. I sounded pretty good, but I had some static. I've noticed in certain parts of the minutes. The headset. I'm gonna get a better headset in the future. Yeah, I want to sit still. That's probably what it was. In extreme headset that I have, I have to sit still in a certain position. Yeah, but I'm learning about live streaming. But I'm gonna play this part where the guest comes on. I want to see what gave and see how the conversation flow. It makes Sonic World. That all represents 1%. That shows you what type of world it is. But and you look at the master has been hijacked. So basically, yeah, you say incels, things like that. That's what I'm saying, but it's more true. It's basically money at this point. Everybody says it's like bad dollars. So, we'll see what this election and this future, what this 4 years is going to be like. It's going to be rocky and interesting. I'm ready for this diesel culture and see what they got to offer. But they will get exposed. People get exposed out here. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. I'm on a headset. Oh, it's back. Yeah. Yeah, I'm on what you call it, my Chromebook, but it's all right. But on YouTube, it sounds all right. Okay. Private chat. You about to drop off? Yeah, I'm about to drop off. All right. Okay. Nice talking to you, man. Like, it's good that you came up. Yeah, man. I'm always moving in the space, man. Like I said, yeah, go ahead. Hey, just like you, co-professor, man. A lot of guys who come with knowledge, like I told co-professor, you're almost going to be shamed in this kind of realm because no one wants to deal with the issue at hand, in which, you have to put thought into the process of what you're thinking about and what you're talking about when you come to certain people. The guys want to hear the funny, the laugh, and the joke. I'm like, look, what about the realness? Like, what about that? A lot of guys are not coming over here to trying to get some kind of intellect and learn and kind of know what's going on within the space and, have some type of knowledge. So I always look at channels like this and other channels more food for thought. Yeah. tried, man. I've been doing it for like almost a decade, even before I started in these spaces. But you have to be different, man. You can't be talking about gender war stuff, gender politics. That really destroys me, especially when it's around about money. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, man. All right. All right, man. Please. Yep. Yeah. Basically, what he just said, in the spaces. I just feel just okay. Yeah, that's the static. Okay. I need to work on that. Yeah, I might have to use one of those small headsets. This one's alright. I'm gonna use it for the phone or something. Doctrine increases the morals and the increase in voice. He argued that the higher pleasures could only be recognized by those who have to express. Yeah. Criticism, utilitarianism, human happiness is often quantified. To that great measures of the happiness. That's it. But I used to before. I can small ones next time. I'm going to try to use the phone next time. But I did it for this topic right here. I might need a better headset. Ooh, sound like a monster right there. When it's static, I sound like a monster. Oh my god. I see what Kuda was talking about. Yeah, a lot of blind spots in the space because they do workarounds when it comes to solutions. Exactly. You just said it. You just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. Yeah, man. So yeah, if y'all wanted to join, there's a link in the chat. So I'll see. Yeah, but this is basically I just want to put something out here. That's static, man. Oh my lord, when did he come up? Okay. Let's go like this. Static, right now. Okay.
Hey, what's up, man? So, oh, now it's better. Whatever you did, just change it.
Oh no, I had to sit still. You know how it is. It's okay. Yeah. You know how it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I used to read a bit about utilitarianism. Have you heard of the? I mean, it had to be maybe 9, 10, maybe 11 years ago. Harvard did a whole YouTube series, and it's a series called Justice. And it's super duper dynamic how this professor goes through it. And put a link in the back chat. That's the title. Let me get the link actually. Copy this. It's really, man, and it kind of gets into, if you go over that whole concept of what happens. So say for instance, there's 2 people on the train track and the train is coming, and it's one person that if you drop them, then you'll save the 2 people. And then it's like, do you consider that murder, or do you consider that? Have you heard of that scenario before?
Yeah, I've heard many scenarios. And I think my first pre-record videos, I talked about the pros and cons of utilitarianism, and it's 13 disadvantaged by this Texas guy in the VA. Yeah. I might have to see a screen share. Hold on. I have to look at it. Hold on.
So what's your take on that, though? So what is it? Like, what did you think? Like, are you killing? Are you murdering? Or is it right to sacrifice one for the majority?
I mean, I agree with the concept, but the difficult part is the minority top people that runs the planet. That's the hard part. I'm a total, basically, utilitarian mindset on that. Most people, we already got rule and act. That's a concept in America. So the military, basically, you just said, it's in the military. When you go outside of the military, that's when it gets hard. Everybody's got different philosophy. So,
yeah, because the utilitarian perspective from the military is that one for all, right? You just, right? Or the majority, like it's strict, right? In the military, is that the stance? I haven't read one in a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 13 disadvantages, and then if you can read it from ringrise.live.org, and the guy, he's got a video He's out of Texas and Austin. It says now is the time for utilitarianism. I believe it's Richard, something like that. You can find it on TED Talks and all that. Yeah, and that's one of my first pre-records of videos of it. And I got the idea from the Just Black Pill video with Batman and Owlman, and how I used the concept of the two. And he said Owlman's like more of a nihilist. And I did that later when I was studying utilitarianism. I said, well, a nihilist is a structure. He has a defeatist mentality, but basically a nihilist, they got so many terms for it, like a moral nihilist. You know, I went in depth into that. You know, I think I did a few streams on that. But this one in particular, I want to point out, it's rarely used in this space. I'm just going to bring it out. And PK Angle asked me about it on Hard More Strength. And I told him what it was. It's basically, it's a form of consequentialism. It's basically a moralistic, like, doctrine, but it does preach morality a little bit. Right and wrong. It's subjective. It's relative. But it comes from the Epicureans. You know, Epicureanism. I will make a stream on that. On May 1st, I'll go into Epicureanism in connection with utilitarianism, with the philosophy aspect of it. It has some connection to hedonistic utilitarianism. So yeah, it's a big philosophy. It's been around for different decades or eras of like the 1800s, like 3 centuries probably. Yeah. And the concept is not new, man. It goes back to Epicurus and Greek philosophy. You know, that's where it comes from. Yeah. So Brandon Miller,
the strongest argument for like what is the argument that you greatest relate to, that you're like, okay, this is where I take my stand based for or based upon this particular argument. Or do you make such a strong delineation?
My strongest argument would be the other forms of utilitarianism, like the rule and the act. I mean, total is probably the best if things do collapse. But the problem is, the majority of people can't come together because you're dealing with a minority group that's for themselves. So it's an individual right. So I understand that aspect. So it has weakness. So I had to learn that. I was like, okay. But the strongest ideology connected to utilitarianism is nihilism. You know, that's the argument that people's having online away from this space. So you talk to people that deals with esoteric knowledge, they'll tell you that. Like Epicureanism versus Stoicism is the same argument. You know, you can pick those two apart. So I think I did videos on that too, live streams on that as well. Yeah, I got this from an author named Brandon Miller. Has a BA from University of Texas Austin. He posts this up here, and you know, and then this guy named Richard in the video put in there. So yeah, it's all on YouTube. They talked about this like 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't seen the old ones. It's just
It's read a bit about it. It's read a bit on it some years back. I always try to like listen to what they say, right? Listen to the ideas, the concepts, right, where they came from. But then I always try to look at some practicality, right? What can I walk away with that I can actually apply to my life? Because otherwise, a lot of it is just theory and ideas, and thoughts that are just put out there, explain the concept. But I'm like, what is the application here for me, right? Do you see any of that in or have you seen some of that application in your so like, right, so you're walking down the street, right, and I don't know, Keisha's starting to fight with Pooh, yeah, right, and it's like, do you jump in, right, or what theory kind of allows you to act on some of those ideas? Like, do you jump in and maybe it's a baby, by the way, right? It's a baby right on the side.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I try to take it with those like ideas.
Yeah. I try to help people. That's like the cop on the beat. I think we just mentioned it. That's like the cop on the beat example. And I said something like kind of like a Batman approach. Yeah. Sometimes people gonna have their problems, like they gonna be negative, and I learned, can you accept it for what it is? And that's the black pill side of it, and it's deep. And if you're a nihilist, they don't care. They just do it. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, so, doesn't matter what the result, what the outcome is. Okay.
My outcome in utilitarianism is simple. Like, you got some equal justice. sometimes we get our hands dirty if it's necessary. They want us to feel, I'm the same way, and I hate to say it, my zodiac makes sense. I'm so possessive. We construct everything what we do. Like we like to build. You put me something in my hand, I'm gonna do something with it. And that's how I work. And even when I was a barista serving customers, I can't please everyone. Please do. Yeah, I understand that. It took me 2 years to understand that. Yeah, and I'm in my early 30s, and I can tell people that, like in these spaces, I've seen how the ministry don't went left field and don't care. It's a personal choice. So yeah, you have choice. That's why me and MLT fell out, because we can't be all conservative. You got one person disagreeing with you, and they ain't even unified. And that's
just feel like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
But it's just like, I get his concept, but he overdoes it. I've seen it before. Yeah. And same as
but how do you dominate and create this world when you're the leader? Like I just don't get it. It's literally like some type of villain character that tries to like rule with an iron fist, like dropping people off panels and blocking it. Like yeah, that's his method of rule or lies. Literally go and interact with people, and if he doesn't agree, he'll throw a hammer.
Well, no, it's, I can debate on that, but we'll see. Some people say it's a misconception, but it's commonly in the term nihilist. That's a tricky question, because a lot of people say the same thing, and nihilism may have to do with peace, because there's so many versions of it. I mean, yes, it has a destructive nature, but it sounds cool at first in the beginning. But it's a great subject to get into. I'm gonna make that a future stream or something like that. But I ain't done more research on it, so yeah, I'm gonna probably play this with Gabe and show examples how the stream was. It's a little static, but I'll use better headphones the next time. I might use the small ones.
And start your own story. Like, what is that? Like, where are you? Where's the productivity there? Where is the? And then you kind of get your own little cronies together. And this is part of it's right. It's not all trolling with me. It's that I really don't like the character of certain people. I really don't. Yeah. Like I might be like an MOT, like a fantastic. Like I just don't like the character that they portray. So I mess with them. I'm not saying it's the best thing to do all the time, but it's really not all just like, oh, let's have fun. It's like no, y'all whack people to me. Yeah, whack people are targets for me. I mean, hey, that's just how it is. I get off, but yeah, so kind of this whole idea, like you were saying, you've seen some of that implementation by the MOT character that we see. Yeah, idea.
And ever since the summer, I subscribed to him. He's interesting, and he talks about this progressive talk and conservative talk. And what I've learned from him is he tries so hard. Like, dude, I was that dude once when I was a lot younger, and I realized how can he, and I'll say it like this: how can a person want a niggerless society but do the most nigga shit? And when Kuda said that to him, he was in dead silent on that zero stream. That just showed you right there. It's his action. He didn't say nothing. Complex was there, looked like a fool, and they didn't say nothing. They quiet. Kuda just said
just let him. They let him go. They all say all types of crazy stuff to each other. Like I don't know if you ever heard these Aegon strings.
Yeah.
They all types. Man, I remember the time in those strings. Yeah. Man, I remember Fantastic. He went off on Complex. He was saying stuff about everybody just like it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But then they pushed that under the rug like it didn't happen.
And I always remind him. I said, "Where I come from, you got that, man." I mean, that's just the way it is. That's why I be on Fantastic's head a lot. To see that white boy incident hurt the brain trust, and I tell you, the only person who was mad was Jay Shine. He was hurt by that, and that's why he tries to tell him, "Look, he's hurting our brain over here." That's why the brain trust ain't going nowhere. And I laugh.
You know, it's the funk, right? It's the funk. Like now, Mikey and Renaissance Man, they have a whole different channel. Complexes is running the channel down. Weed, sex, talking, but hey.
Yeah, the same stuff. I might have to break down the stream on that in the future. about sapiosexualism. Probably do some more research. Yes, unisex, but here's the thing: I want to do some studies. What's the difference between a male sapio and a female? Because this is kind of crazy. Because people don't like what they like, but there is a hybrissophilia versions of the two. But if you want something with hybrissophilia, like Kuda said, yeah, you want somebody that's with it. You don't want nobody that's not with it because you don't know if they'll change it. You know, that's how
man. Yeah, and you just kind of, and I think that the whole, I think one thing you said that was really important earlier is that you just can't satisfy everybody. So you really just have to make choices that are best for yourself and just go with that, no matter what a lot of other people think, right? Because I think that in the metal sphere, a lot of the ideas that you need to, they will literally question you until they find something that they don't agree with, and then they'll like poke at that as if you need to live, as if that thing is the standard or the thing that crushes you in their eyes. It's just so weird. Where it's like this group think type of mentality. But I don't want to drift too far away from your topic though. About utilitarianism.
No, it's on point, and I decided to make it, man. Like, you know, and it's just what I see from the space, and then I use this concept as an example, like how can we have a society like that worldwide, and it makes me wonder, you know. And I'm glad I had cut them off because I need some new fresh subscription. That's all it did, and just helped me out. But then siding with Kuda, you know, technically not side. I just like his content. He's more diverse and learn about his history of YouTube, and he's trash.
Yeah, I just think he's a cool person, man. I don't agree with everything he says.
Yeah, sometimes I don't agree all the stuff about how it started, but I understand where he's coming from.
But it's okay because you don't have to agree. Like we don't have to.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree as men. Yeah, it's just like that. It's just like the guy that said in the barbershop years ago. He said, "My father said it best. He said you can disagree to disagree as men as well."
Yeah,
at the same time.
Right. And I think that when you disagree and still have respect, that's where that relationship comes from. Because the stuff they say, like as it concerns like men who are higher earning, they're pretty much licks for women who I don't know have bad intention. I wouldn't say that because I think that there needed to be some skills, some tact, some know-how, some knowledge to be able to earn. Where I don't think you're as vulnerable as a lot of what Kuda and some other dudes say that you are. Like I think that you develop things to be able to sniff out the evil or the bad in women. Because I do that, right? Because I could tell at times when I meet a woman before I was married, for sure. When I met a woman, she started asking questions, trying to see where I'm at. I could tell what her intentions were. It wasn't always the best, but it doesn't I didn't consider myself a lick because I knew what I wanted, and she wasn't gonna no woman was about to suggest me into something that puts me at a disadvantage. So
I'm just responding to a stream. It is open, fam. You can welcome to join. I'm just seeing what I sound like. It was choppy. I'm trying to see. I was choppy with the Epicureanism talk, and I think I sounded all right. And I just want to throw the stream up. It's just a stream that I just want to put up. So yeah, I'm just being myself right now. I just talked to Wacky about an hour ago. It's been 2 hours, so I'll listen to this and skim through it, and then I'm gonna shut this one down. Okay.
I disagree with that, but it's cool. Like it's cool if he thinks that, but it's cool. I'm not mad at him for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, when you went in on Beach, man, I was the last person I thought.
Oh man,
yeah,
that was just fun, man.
I was fun too. Yeah, she's all right with me.
It's cool. It's cool, man. Like, yeah, it's just like you can do that. Like you can go in. I'm like, why you turning in the place? Like just like I don't understand why. I don't understand why who make the standard that everything in this space had to be so serious. Yeah, like we joking all the time, all the time. So you know it's cool. But then if you joke, it's a troll, and You're not getting productivity. How could you be on these panels or in chat rooms being a troll and be productive and be a quality? I'm like, you're doing a lot of psychoanalysis for some jokes. Like,
a lot of people just don't. A lot of people don't have thick skin. They don't have composure. And the sad part is, when I troll, it's soft troll. I just name flip the stuff they say, and it's ridiculous. I just poke fun of them and tell them what they're wrong at, and I just sit back and let them hurt themselves again. But that's what you do. You know, I've been doing that for like years when I was younger. But I could
you know how it was, like when you were growing up, it was always like you were always joking with each other as kids. Even as adults, man. I remember even in college, man, sometimes we would be in like the engineering lab, sit at our desk and kind of be joking on each other, like I don't know, just like little nerdy calculus jokes, or like somebody here about to change their major to business, like because people never get the labs and whatever. So we like that. People would crack back at you like, "Oh yeah, what you doing that last year?" Oh, all right. I see. So you know, it'll be like a go back and forth. And that's what that thick skin thing that you're talking about. But here, it's not that. It's not that. It's like it's clicky. It's clicky at best.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I just, again, I'm in front of computers normally for work, so to click on the YouTube link is like nothing. It's like click, keep working, click, keep working type of thing. So. But yeah, man, I just appreciate you, real dude yourself. Kuda, O'Shea. Like me and O'Shea have an offline relationship. Like you talk all the time. Yeah, man. That's why he always puts stuff up above me because we friends are like, man, don't be sharing that, man. It's all good. He's like, nah, man, I got to pick up the brothers and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
When he first came on the scene, I wasn't too fond of him, but the more I realized about it, he's all right with me because I'm more neutral with him. But the good thing is, what I can say is, I give him the nickname of Slave. When he be slaying these niggas, man, I be laughing. I be laughing. It's hilarious. I mean, he has a right to say that.
And he doesn't take it serious, love.
No, he don't. He do something. Right. I'm okay with it. The same with Angry Man. See, I have no issue with him. I say, you created 2.0 space, but I give him this.
Right.
He's doing something right to step outside of himself, you know. And we had a good conversation. Me and Ramil's all right. And they play up to Ramil. Ramil. They would never dare say nothing to Ramil. They play up to him. His streams is crazy today. I was in his live stream. And there was something about this Hidden Colors thing. I said, they crazy.
I saw a little bit of it. I was like, all right, it's my cup of tea. Yeah. And when they get deep on the porn stuff, or deep on the Afrocentric stuff, I'm like, So once they talk about some business or some arguments, I'm like, let's see what's going on.
But the DS1, he shot me out with the cap in his life. He mentioned me in the bill. I said, I'm all right, but and he mentioned Jessica. He said, say what I did. I said, the big Paul. And I said,
It's funny. It's funny. But
y'all knew.
I think this morning they had made a stream about you. Did my man make something about you? What's his name? Fantastic. I thought he was going in on y'all this morning or something like that.
I didn't pay attention. I don't even watch it. I don't care. He got me
crazy.
Yeah.
I woke up. I'm like, yo, this is wild.
Oh, this is fentanyl.
You know.
Yeah, so I ain't watch it. Still, I'm probably taking down.
Yeah. But that Harvard series is really dope. That one about the Justice series is really dope. It pretty much goes over everything that you were saying that you were talking about. So
yeah,
it might be something valuable.
Yeah. I just had to throw something up here, like, you know, it's a topic. They're talking about sir. Yeah, they talk about me wacky. Yeah, let's go on, man. Yeah, I laugh at him, man. I don't care. You know, he's a clown, man. Like, I don't pay attention to nonsense, man. It's just, I laugh at these. They take this stuff way too serious. All it is you're letting these females in these spaces clown you like that, like PS1 said. And the way he said in his latest video, say captain his life, I hollered. He mentioned me. He said, shout out to you, man. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Jessica. I said the big homie in the chat. He started laughing. I said, yeah.
Yeah, I think Fanson is in. He went back home for a second.
Yeah, I've heard.
But we haven't heard from him.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, man.
I was trying to get Kuda to come by because if he saw you up here, you know, if he swung by. So, you know, she came up here. He came before Wacky came on the panel once. Yeah. Yeah.
I try to come back over. I know I'm subscribed, so I see him when you go live from time to time. Yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciate that. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, man, thanks for having me, man. I'm gonna hop down. About to get back to my square. About to get back to the square life.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man.
All right, peace, man. Yeah, that was good. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Yeah, it's the static. Like, that's this. I don't even care. Biden came around and won. He's still suffering from that. You know, he's a Trump guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I decided to throw this video up, like, you know, so we was talking about this topic right here. I said, yeah, you know, it's just something I saw from BGS's old Black Pill videos. I'm trying to break down why they teach this stuff. And, like, this dude's so obsessed with philosophy, man. It reminds me of the metaphysical thing in the Sinetta days in 2012. They was arguing about that and pro-black stuff. And I see a lot of division in 2.0, and I'm like, oh, this is sad. DS1 is a trip. He be clowning these dudes, man. Like, look, he warned them. So, you know how it is, the female stuff. I know they have their purpose. He said, no, I ain't against it. I expose all the sense in here. I said, okay. Yeah.
I mean, really, it's the males who messed up.
Yeah, they messed up. Yeah.
Not the females.
Yeah.
No. People say, don't let the females in space.
Okay. I see what's going on here. Yeah. Did I pause for a minute? Hold on.
He kind of respects you in a way, but the thing is,
yeah, pause it for
that 2.0 thing, man.
Okay.
Trying to put up genocide that happened in Rwanda back in 1994.
I'm very aware.
Yeah. So he basically said that one main reason for the Chinese decided to have it
We can.
was oversupply. Was because females from one ethnicity now males from another ethnicity practice a lot of that. When they those males like that other ethnicity,
but
I'm like, no.
Okay.
The genocide in Rwanda and Burundi, which was African country next door to Rwanda, was different. It was about no campus. It was no about no sexual access. It was due to the fact that in some ethnic groups, who made up the majority of Rwandan community was being marginalized, in which they was denied access to the majority of the resources of that country, in which another ethnic group, which is the Tutsis, which make up the minority of the country, they basically received the majority resources in the country. So it was sort of like an unwritten apartheid that happened in both Rwanda and Burundi, where one ethnic group was being mistreated and another ethnic group received more resources. So as a result of the decades and decades of mistreatment that the Hutus received, so they just snapped. The Hutus snapped and they said, enough is enough. We're not going to be mistreated. We're not going to be marginalized and denied access to resources, employment, and what have you. We're going to fight back. And what you had, the genocide. So it was not over no damn pussy. So, we was
I'll be back. Let me make some adjustments. Hold on. I'll be back.
This is where I went offline. I had to mute myself. And yeah, it's a stream upon stream, right? Just want to see how I sound with Epicureanism and all that stuff of the Black Pill video that I did.
Let's see.
I did it on May.
Me and Zero was going back and forth. So I asked everybody on Agon's panel, I said, listen, have any of you guys saw the film called Hotel Rwanda? You remember that film?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So certain people seen it. I said, listen, the character that actor Don Cheadle played, named Paul Rosasa Sabenga. Anyway, that movie was based on a true story, by the way. And the character that actor Don Cheadle played, I met the real life Paul Rosasa Sabenga. I met him.
Wow, really?
Yeah, early, like back in 2005 when I was going to college. He came to my college. He spoke about what was going on in Rwanda. He was on the ground. He's a Rwandan. And he was there when the genocide happened. I mean, he saw so many stuff. I mean, he's seen a lot of shit. When he was there, he almost got killed a few times himself, right? So when he was in college speaking about it, he gave the political implications, because he also said that the Belgian government, who at one time colonized Rwanda, was involved in the mistreatment of the Tutsis because the Belgians, they utilized their power to make sure that the Tutsi ethnic group, which is the minority ethnic group in Rwanda, received the majority of the resources, and they made sure that the majority ethnic group, which is the Hutus, they make sure that they was marginalized. So basically, Paul Sabenga was talking about, how the media was given a lot of, how the media in Rwanda was giving a lot of, just a lot of false information to rile up the people, like propaganda to rile up the Hutus mainly, and it just all of a sudden caused one big bang. So basically, he was saying that the genocide was over a lack of resources that the Hutus was receiving and the mistreatment that they was facing systematically. I'm like, Paul Rosasa Sabenga never said anything about no damn vagina. So when I said that, I said, listen, I got it from the horse's mouth. He was there. He told us in our college what happened. He never said about no damn pussy. He never said that the post was about no damn pussy. Either way, Zero didn't want to hear it. Zero was sticking to what he believed happened in Rwanda. I'm like,
Zero. Yeah, typical Zero.
Yeah. Yes, yeah. So, but my thing is that, listen, and this is no disrespect to Zero, but I disagree with him when he was talking about that shit. I disagree. Yeah. But my thing is that when the viewing audience hears something like that, okay, they hear me and Zero debating, us going back and forth, us not agreeing. Now, you as the viewing audience, you have responsibility. And I mean, I'm not saying you personally, sir. I'm using that in general. you as the viewing audience see that, you have a responsibility to go back, go dig in the crates, do your research, and to find out the truth whether or not the genocide in Rwanda happened as a result of the lack of vagina, or based on what I said, systematic mistreatment.
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to say, I'm sorry to sound long-winded, but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of people refuse to do their due diligence. They just rather believe in what a content creator says, not knowing whether or not they're telling you the truth, a lie, or half truth and half lie. But I've said too much. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, it's just, you're right. Like, I think I have fun over Kudos. We be talking about different things besides game, but he's trying to say, don't even listen to me, man. Like, you got to do your own due diligence, how you deal with life. Get off this internet, man. Like, he's trying to do different things, clean up his content. Like, everybody's trying to do that. I've noticed. Because all that beef and stuff don't get you nowhere. I let Kevin be Kevin. I don't even talk about him that much. And you got these followers don't know people. Yeah, basically what this video I'm putting out is basically like stuff like you hear from the 2.0 spaces like BGSM types. You got to watch these esoteric people. They'll throw words to confuse the youngsters and try to use it on people like it's a doctrine, but it has its pros and cons. That's why I put it up there. Now, when me and Gabe talked about it, yeah, you got to have some input and some fallouts and things like that, but you have to learn to agree to disagree or disagree to disagree. And I think our new style made a live stream about that. And Complex got in. I told you about Beasley. Beasley's just half trolling him, and he was out of argument, out of character. I tried to Complex, man, you gotta let that go, man. He got you. He got you up in your feelings for a minute. He's just messing with you. And some people just do it for fun, and some people just do it for information. You just gotta learn to talk.
Yeah. Beasley, he trolls for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trolls for fun. I mean, it's. I've heard Beasley a few times. I've even, gotten in conversation with him a few times. Yeah, he trolls for fun.
He's got a channel called General Beasley, but he got flagged on the president for Beasley for the music and stuff. But he has some good stuff, But we talked, and I think he's the same sign as you. But he said, I think you have to have composure when you talk to these people, because some people just don't have a little fun, but you can learn at the same time. But what I learned from different people, and me and Gabe had a long conversation a few minutes ago about things like that in this topic. I said, yeah, I just pulled some sources out. I just talked to Sheet earlier. He had to drop off. So, yeah. So I'm surprised Gabe subscribed. I said, man, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, Gabe. I was on a live with Gabe, I think, last night.
Yeah.
On Rudem's channel.
Rude's silly. Yeah. Rude's something else. I was on a panel with Gabe first time with him. I was used to talk to him in the chats, and he'd be trolling, and he'd be doing donations, right? And he told me how he does it. It's just easy. But when he argued with Beach, that's over there with Kudos, right? I never thought they was going to argue. And they went at it, and it was a midday stream that he did. And I was on the panel.
Who's that?
I think it's Beach. Something like Beach is like something like she's cool with Kuda and them and Ism and them. But she's always on Kuda's panels mostly. She got an argument with Gabe, and Gabe was messing with her. He said, "You be shaking your ass on camera and all that stuff, messing with her." He said, "Oh, you been what?" She said something with a remark, and I started laughing. I said, "Oh, here we go." Yeah.
I remember when Gabe went on the Black Brain Trust. This happened a few months ago. And man, he got into a full out argument. He went on the panel and got into a full out argument with several of the members of the Black Brain Trust. And I happened to just click on the video, and they was right in the middle of the argument. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Gabe has a history with them guys, and I'm not gonna get into it because Copper said, "Yeah, we helped his wife," and so he said something on Zero Stream. I'm like, I'll let that go. Gabe likes to mess with it, and DJ Coop said it best when it was with the Brain Trust. It was a lot of times like that, and I'm like, wow, yeah.
But But you said he's the same sign as me. Oh,
Yeah, Sagittarius. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I believe the zodiac. I don't believe in that.
I mean, sometimes I do, but I understand the characteristics of people. I mean, they're great storytellers. Look at DMX and Jay-Z. I mean, their lives are different. They were friends, but they took two different paths. So, I don't judge neither one of them. I had a grandmother who was a Sagittarius. She told those wild stories, man. Yeah. But I understand it, though. It wasn't wild, but some of it was true. If she was bad growing up, so you know how it was. So yeah.
Yeah, because I came in. It's funny because speaking of Agon's channel, right? When I came onto the panel earlier today, they were speaking about astrology, and I said, "Man, you believe in this shit?" and everybody started laughing at it. And Jessica, I think Jessica X, she was on there. She was on a roll. They were talking about zodiac signs. So I came on the panel when I said that. Everybody started laughing, and Jessica X got quiet, right? So I was like, "Man, maybe I put a monkey wrench in Jessica X's, speech because you know how Jessica X when she be on the roll, right?"
Yeah.
And I like that. Maybe I'll put a monkey wrench in what she was saying. I was trying to be disrespectful to you, but I told her I was trying to be disrespectful and all that,
Yeah.
But I just honestly don't believe in zodiacs.
Yeah.
She was like, "Nah, it's cool."
The only ones in the space believes that is, I think, Kuda, Art of New Style, and a few others. And Art of it more, he don't believe in it as much. But we're the same sign. We're the Tauruses, so we have little grudges there and there. But sometimes I don't get into it that much. There's only two signs you can learn from: quality and element signs. That's about it. Ain't nothing serious. I read up on it. I'm like, oh, okay. That's just something they made up.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because I like when I tell people that I don't believe in zodiac signs. Right after I tell them that, they then ask me, "What's your sign?" I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Yo, I just told you I didn't believe it." Okay. Oh yeah, what up, new Shaka Nulu? Yeah, he was there on the stream. He said it wasn't that wacky. You already talking about it long before you show. Okay, cool. All right.
He had to confirm that.
So going back to what I was saying, I be telling them, I'm like, "Dude, I already told you I don't believe in it." Then they turn around and ask me what's my birthday. I'm like, you basically asked me the same question.
Damn.
You wanna know my birthday because you wanna know my sign after I just told you I don't believe in it. So then I say, okay, fuck it. I was born on this month and this day. Oh, you're a Sagittarius. Oh, well, Sagittarius. Oh, Sagittarius. That means that you this, you that. Dude, I just told you I don't believe in it. Which part don't you get? Why are you trying to tell me what my qualities are when A, you don't know me? Okay. And B, I already told you I don't believe in it. Why are you telling me something that I already established with you that I don't believe?
Yeah.
But it all goes down to, like I said, critical thinking skills, utilizing logic and being able to process when someone tells you something. Someone says something, okay, you may disagree, but at least respect the fact that that's not what that person believes in.
Yeah.
But I've spoken too much and it's sort of off topic. Sorry about that.
Nah, you good, man. I'm through with it anyway because I said it with Gabe and Nafsheed already. It's kind of redundant. I just want to put this on the screen.
It's getting choppy. That part.
Like, what's his name? PK Angel, so you can look at it. I told him that I made a stream on it. If I bump into him again in the space that he was asking me about it, and that's basically for him. New. Yeah. Peace, man. Yeah. I'm gonna shut this down. May God bless y'all again. Shalom.
Yeah, I have to work on the static, on the noise. I'm gonna use these Heyday headphones from now on. I think I sound better on them. But yeah, man, that's just a piece of the live stream I did. I'm gonna stop, screen sharing and all that stuff. But man, like, yeah,
I mean, that was it for the topic. I went longer than before. Yeah, I'm gonna shut this down, guys. I'm gonna say shalom. Peace to everybody that came through.
That was it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop screen share, man. Yeah, I I think I'm gonna stick with these from now on, man. I mean, the live stream is just crazy. I'm over here listening to Bernard and SKC debate, man. They act like a bunch of fools. But let's just say I'm gonna shut this down. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom and peace.